So now let's go ahead and talk about something called arbitrage. And arbitrage is a fancy word for buy low, sell high. And in particular, buying low and selling high very quickly, sort of in the same moment in time. Not buying low, waiting for the price to rise, and then selling to realize that. So arbitrage is a sort of special situation because if you're able to buy low in one location and sell high in another location, you have a potential riskless profit. And that obviously is looking very appealing. And arbitrage can come up when we have what's called a violation of the law of one price. So the law of one price is the idea that similar things should sell for similar prices. And the same thing should sell at the same price almost everywhere you go, because otherwise there's this riskless profit opportunity. And we're going to see that as people exploit this profit opportunity, it's going to undo the possibility of arbitrage. Specifically, for a foretaste, when they buy in the low-priced market and sell in the high-priced market, they're going to drive prices up in the low-priced market and drive prices down in the high-priced market. And you can sort of imagine what would happen if you had, two neighboring states and there were price differences and that sort of thing. But we're going to include exchange rates, so things are going to get a little bit trickier here. So let's go ahead and start with an example where the exchange rate, E, is 100 yen per dollar. The price of something, say a ream of paper, is $5 per ream in the US. And the foreign price, how much it sells for in Japan, is $800, or 800 yen, a ream in Japan. And we can go ahead and calculate the real exchange rate. You can probably just see it that, $5 in the US, 800 yen in Japan, that's like $8 in Japan, given this exchange rate, so there's a profit opportunity here. But the real exchange rate would be the nominal exchange rate times the ratio of the US price over the foreign price. So that would be 100 yen per dollar times $5 over 800 yen. So that would be 500 over 800, or 0.625. And again, the fact that this is less than 1 tells us that things are cheaper in the US, if you couldn't notice it already. So how are we going to go ahead and make a profit off this? We're going to go ahead and buy in the US, ship our paper to Japan, sell it for 800 yen a ream, and we'll have made a 300 yen profit, or a $3 profit, depending on how you want to look at it. We'll have left ourselves with a bunch of yen, and we're going to go ahead and sell those yen and bring them back into dollars so that we can repeat our cycle again and buy more paper and do this whole thing again. So several actions here. Buy paper in US, sell paper in Japan, and then sell yen to buy dollars. So as we buy paper in the US, what's going to happen, of course, is that we're going to increase the price of paper in the US, because we're going to add to the demand for paper in the US. As we sell paper in Japan, we're going to push down the price of paper in Japan, because we're bringing in this cheap American paper. As we sell yen to buy dollars, we're going to cause the yen to get weaker, and the dollar is going to get stronger. So let's go ahead and make up new numbers here. Let's go ahead and say that as we buy paper in the US, we push the price of paper in the US up to $6 a ream. As we sell paper in Japan, we're going to push down the price of paper. It started at 800. Let's go ahead and say it falls to 700. And as the yen gets weaker and the dollar gets stronger, that's going to go ahead and move the nominal exchange rate. And let's go ahead and move the nominal exchange rate to, say, 110 yen per dollar. So it takes more yen to buy a dollar, so the yen is weaker. Or equivalently, $1 gets you more yen, so the dollar is stronger. So what's our new real exchange rate? Our new real exchange rate then is 110 times 6 over 700, which gets us to 660 over 700, which the handy-dandy calculator tells me is 0.943. So notice the U.S. started a fair amount cheaper. Prices in the U.S. were effectively 62.5% of what they were in Japan. This whole process causes prices in the U.S. to rise relative to Japan. Some of that's a direct effect on the prices in the two countries, and some of them is an effect on the exchange rate and how we convert the prices in the two countries. But all in all, the price in the U.S. has risen so that now prices in the U.S. are 94.3% of what they are in Japan. So you can see how this arbitrage process does two things. One is it's ultimately self-limiting because of this phenomenon that we talked about up here. The second is that arbitrage tends to push the real exchange rate to 1. Maybe not all the way, because there would be some transport costs, which we've ignored here. But you can see that we're pushing it closer to 1 as we're doing this. And that's going to be our long-run theory of exchange rates.